Digital Romance TV.
Welcome to Digital Romance TV. I'm Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com, and today we're going to talk about the #1 reason why most single women are struggling in their love life. And one of the things I hear all the time is, Joe, why is it so difficult? Why is it so hard? Why can't I have the kind of guy and the kind of relationship that I really want? And what I've ultimately discovered in my work is it usually comes down to this one thing. And this one thing tends to show up in 3 different ways. Care to guess what that one thing is? Well, I'm going to let you know. It's fear. See, fear of never having what it is that we really want, or fear of getting it and how it can possibly potentially hurt us, is the #1 obstacle which is preventing you from having what it is that you say you desire. So let's talk about this thing called fear for a second. See, if you've been hurt in the past, you've given your all, you are vulnerable, and you completely open yourself up, literally and figuratively, and you've gotten burned and you've gotten hurt and you've had your heart broken, well, there's a part of you that even though you say you want it, that's going to be deathly afraid. And so that's basing your fear on your past. Now, some of you watching this may have a fear that you'll never find the person that you're really looking for. And so as a result of that, you'll settle. You'll make bad choices and decisions. You'll rush into things. You'll jump into a relationship and sleep with a guy. Or maybe you'll stay in that relationship way too long because you're afraid you'll never find the kind of guy and the kind of relationship that you really want. And so that's basing your fear on the future of never getting what you're really looking for. And some of you who are watching this may have a fear that's based in the present. And that's, you believe that you've got to do everything perfectly. You've got to say all the right things, do all the right things, laugh, joke, bat your eyebrows, flirt, do all these things. Because if you don't do everything completely perfectly, he's not going to love you and want to be with you. Well, that fear is based in the present. And that fear is usually based on an internal conflict. And that's not feeling that you're good enough. And that usually comes down to some self-worth and self-esteem issues. So if you want to ultimately create the result that you're looking for, you've got to do one thing. You've got to identify the fear that's driving you. Because what I find in the work that I do and the women that I work with is that ultimately that there's one fear that's the main driving fear that's behind all their choices and decisions. It's usually based on being hurt. It's usually based on a fear they'll never find what they're looking for. Or there's an internal conflict where they don't feel good enough and they feel they've got to do everything perfectly. And the thing about these fears is if you have any of them, it's ultimately going to show up in your behavior, in your choices, and your decisions. And it may help you get a relationship and get the guy, but it'll never lead to the happy and fulfilling relationship that you're ultimately looking for. Now, I know I threw a lot at you. You might want to go back and watch this a time or two, because this is going to help you get to the root cause of your problems. As always, it's an honor and privilege to be with you. We'll see you next time. Much love.
If you've got a cell phone in your pocket or purse right now, then you've got everything you need to create incredible romance and passion with the man or woman in your life at the push of a button. Go to digitalromance.tv/TRB to see Michael Fiore make an entire audience of women in the Rachel Ray Show swoon and learn how to use tiny little text messages to have the relationship of your dreams.